So if our first speaker of the day, Dr. Paul, start the session with the statement of everything in life has a purpose, I'd like to start with a question, because everything in life begins with a question. You know, that one question lingers in a long time through your head and demands an answer. So the question for today would be, when was the last time you did something for the first time? For example, the first time you're going to school, you get to meet your friend's parents, your partner's parents, that sort of thing. It surely leaves a sense of nerve and also excitement. I still remember the very first time I stepped into the newsroom. The adrenaline, the constant pursuit of truth, you know, the deadlines, everything. I still remember it very vividly because it was something that I was ever dreamed about. You know, I get to spend a lot of time there, get to meet a lot of people. But one thing I didn't realize back then was that my purpose was not about telling stories. It was about shaping them. You know, I used to work in the journalism industry for more than a decade. I get to meet world leaders, get to interview them, and also I involved in shaping stories that shapes public's perceptions. It was inspiring, it was meaningful. But then, things start to shift within me. You know, I begin to wonder, what is happening to a story, or what happens after a story is told? You know, what happened to the people whose voices we have amplified? Turns out, it wasn't about informing people. It was about empowering them. And you know, transition from one job or one areas of focus to another is never easy. So I began to look inward to the values that I hold dearly. I ask myself the questions that we all, you know, we try to avoid when it comes to a very comfortable position that we hold now. What do I really value in life? Or what kind of legacy I'd like to leave behind for future generations? And in that stillness, I found my answers. The first one is truth. The same truth I sought in journalism, I'd like to uphold in education. I'd like to see or to be a part of an environment where education or truth is the foundation of learning, critical thinking, and also growth. The next one is empowerment. You know, I'd like to be a part of something that is more than just words. I'd like to be part of something that actually shapes the future. And by doing that, hopefully, it could create an impact. So, the impact that is, or that transcends beyond words, and not just measured in ratings and headlines, but also in life transform. And of course, you know, when you shift or transcend from one aspect of your life to another, when you enter that new chapter of yours, there are key aspects that you can hold dearly. I call it my evolution toolkit. You know, because the skills that I have before as a journalist, for example, like communication, storytelling, and leadership, I could use that because they weren't just for journalism, they are tools. You know, because the thing with tool is we can use them in a new way to find new methods in doing new things. So I use my skills like communication, storytelling, and leadership to inspire, to empower, and to advocate for education that hopefully could help future generations. And my journey in education starts here. If you see the slides, you can see the pictures of young students, and it starts near to my heart, close to my heart, in Medan, North Sumatra, my hometown. So the foundation started like 35 years ago when my grandfather decided that this is something that he'd like to focus on. And Lear's